Greetings and welcome. To paraphrase Jay-Z, if you're having baseball problems, I feel bad for you, son. I got 99 problems, but New York ain't one, is what Major League Baseball may have said for the 1958 season as the era of West Coast baseball was born. The 1958 Topps baseball set is one of my all-time favorite looking sets. I'm drawn to colorful, bold backgrounds on cards, but when Topps released the set, it was thought of as unconventional design that wasn't loved when it was released. There are 9 different background colors in the 58 set. There's orange, red, green, light green, yellow, blue, light blue, black, and pink. If the 1958 set is not the most important set of all time for Topps, it's one of the most important sets. The 1958 set was the first set that introduced baseball to the West Coast with the initial LA Dodgers and San Francisco Giants cards. And Topps' card distribution vastly increased with the new West Coast market, kind of like the baseball card gold rush. But what was great for the West Coast had to be unbearable for New York fans who had to open packs and see for the first time their heroes wearing new LA Dodgers hats or San Francisco Giants on their cards. In 1958, we would see the last cards of Ted Williams, Bob Lemon, George Kell, and Pee Wee Reese. And we would welcome Orlando Cepeda, who is the only Hall of Fame rookie in the set, Curt Flood, who I think should be in the Hall of Fame, Roger Maris, Vada Pinson, and the Topps debut of Stan the Man. Topps continued to expand on its set size with 494 cards compared to the 407 that the 1957 set offered. And it was the first time that checklists were incorporated into the numbered sets. So on the back of every team card, there would be a checklist. And multi-card players had also increased. That's a pretty cool one of Big Clue and Williams. I love that Clue's still sleepless. And we were also introduced to the Sport Magazine 1958 All-Star Selection cards as well. Another change was that the back of cards went back to the compacted statistical lines. In 1957, the back showed all of the season's highlights, and 58 went back to just the previous year and their lifetimes. Card number 145 was not issued, so the set goes from 144 to 146. So the very last card of the set is actually numbered 495, but there's 494 cards. Card 145 was supposed to be Ed Boucher. However, in January of 1958, Spokane police arrested Boucher for exposing himself to several young girls. Boucher pleaded guilty to a series of charges and was sentenced to 3 years probation and spent a few months in a psychiatric institution and was ultimately allowed to return to the Phillies on July 1st, 1958. Topps would pull his card, the 145, but Boucher would appear in the 1959 set. There are rumors that the Sport Magazine of Stan Musial that I've already shown and the Mickey Mantle were triple printed, and they replaced the cards of 443 Billy Harrell, 446 Carroll Hardy, 450 Preston Ward, and 462 of Gary Geiger, which makes these 4 cards short prints. And kind of like I did in my last video, I like to show my favorite cards of the set. So some of my personal favorite is Tom Coulter's. And fun fact about Coulter's is he appeared in 34 games without a major league decision, and he is the only pitcher to appear on a Topps card 4 times without ever recording a win or a loss. I like the Bob Turley a lot. Same with the Ralph Terry. A couple of Reds I like is the Harvey Haddix and Bob Heinrich. I think the Johnny Roseboro is pretty cool. And I think the Tony Kubek's just kind of funny. I've been one of the coaches for my son's coach pitch team, and the image looks like 99% of the kids at any given point in any of our games. Just kind of not watching the ball. So I just kind of thought this was pretty funny. But the 58 set came out in 6 series. And what's a little different about the set is that the lower number cards are more difficult to find than the higher numbered, which is kind of vice versa than a normal Topps set. But just like when I shared my 1957 set, I am going to break the 58 set into a series to show what cards you would have pulled when buying a certain series. So give me a couple seconds and you will see the set in its entirety. So Series 1 starts off with Ted Williams, and if you remember the 1957 set, the card number 1 in that set was also Ted Williams. There's Clemente, Al Kaline. I think that's a pretty cool Joe Ginsberg. Dick Groat, who just passed. Again, I love that image of Johnny Roseboro. And I apologize for the glare. The Duke, and Series 1 ends with card 110, Johnny Logan. On to Series 2. Series 2 starts off with Stu Miller with card 111, and it's a smaller series, and it goes to card 195. Big clue right there with the Pirates. I always think that Marv Thornberry is a really good looking card. Same with the Ralph Terry. There's Mantle. And again, I apologize for the glare. And Whitey Lockman stops Series 2 with card 195. Series 3 starts with Mike Garcia with card 196, and it runs to card 283. Not a ton of star power in this set, or in this series, but there's enough. It's Carl Erskine. As I said in my last one, I'm a huge fan of his. The Bill Witt and the Bob Turley right there, I think if you're going to pair cards together for display, those would look really cool side by side. Just kind of the same pitching motion. I think that's one of the coolest cards in the set, the Warren Spahn. I don't think it's Spahn's greatest card, but I do think it's one of his best. It's a really good looking image of Billy Martin. And the last card, 283, ends with Paul Foytak. Series 4 starts off with card 284, Ray Catt. And you also see more star power in this series. As you can see, there's already Frank Robinson and Harmon Killebrew. Brooks Robinson, Ernie Banks, Minnie Minoso. And also in this series, you'll really start seeing the multiplayer cards starting to ramp up. There's already been a couple we've already passed. The 1957 set had like 2 combined, and Series 4 has 4. Ken Boyer. There's a Cepeda rookie. I'm glad they made Gene Green's card actually green. And we end with card 370, Yogi Berra. Series 5 starts with card 371, Marty Keough, and it ends with card 440. And you'll start seeing there's less multiplayer cards in this series, but still plenty of big names. Larry Doby, Nellie Fox, Tony Kubek, I think that Al Worthington card's pretty cool. There's the Mickey Mantle, Hank Aaron, and followed by the Willie Mays and Duke Snider. Another White Rat. And it ends with card 440, Eddie Matthews. Series 6 and the last series starts with 441, Jim Marshall. There are 494 cards in the set, but it actually ends with card 495 because that Ed Boucher was not printed. There's the Flood rookie again. And the Roman Semproch is the last card of kind of the regular 58 design before we move into the Sport Magazine 58 All-Star. There's the Welcome to Topps Stan Musial. Nellie Fox, Eddie Matthews, Ernie Banks, Ted, Frank, Willie, Mickey, Hank. And ends with Herb Score. So there is the 1958 Topps set. Thank you for watching and enjoy your collection.